Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, what's up? Can everyone hear me all right? All right, so what's up, everyone? So this is a slightly different video than what you're probably used to seeing. Cool, what's up, Itchy Gizzards and Alex Crawford? Thanks for tuning in. So I have this issue where, so let me back up. So I've been taking a lot of tape submissions from people. So people have been sending me tapes to digitize old shows that they filmed on various formats, and I've been in the process of converting them and sharing them online. So one of the formats that people send me is this old, really archaic format called a VHS-C. If you're not familiar with this format, it's basically a mini VHS. So it's it has basically a flap here with a tape. It's basically if you're not familiar with videotapes, it's much like a audio cassette. Where you have spools of film that basically wind up and it plays. Basically, there's a head in the VCR that reads this magnetic tape, which contains the signal. So as you can see, this is really small compared to a VHS tape. So VHS tape is this size. So what they when this format came out, I don't know what year this came out, but basically when this format came out, they invented this basically this housing for it. So what happens? What you do is you eject this flap, and then you can simply insert the VHS-C inside of here. You close the lid, and what it ends up doing is it's a mechanical device. So what it does, it actually expands the tape so it fits inside one of these VHS housings. And then you can actually pop this into a VCR and digitize it. So that's what I've been doing. And typically what you do is when you're done, you just eject it. And there you go. The tape is out. And so what's happening is once you close this lid, these two sort of rollers here, they slide into here. They slide into this top part of the VHS-C, and they expand out. So once they start expanding out, it sort of pulls out this magnetic tape and stretches it to fit within this housing. So that's basically how it works. And what happened is I was given my friend Austin Stemper, who's in Mindset. He's currently in Free. Guitars for Free. He sent me a bunch of tapes of shows that he filmed in the early 2000s. So I popped in this striking distance tape. This was a striking distance set from July 6th, 2001. So I popped it in here. As you can see, the magnetic tape is in there as expected. But what happened is this thing's jammed. It does not want to come out. So I have this fucking problem now where the VHS-C is stuck inside of here, and I can't get it out, and I actually can't play it. So I've tried replacing the battery for the mechanical housing. That didn't do it. So I'm basically left with no other choice but to take this apart. So what I'm going to show you guys, I've never done this before, and I figured I might as well live stream it just in case someone else finds themselves in this predicament. They can either watch it and learn from my mistake, or if I do it correctly, they'll learn how to do it correctly. So I think we should just go for it. And the thing is, I just bought this housing, and so I'm pretty bummed that it's already fucking broken. And this is another reason why I'm like encouraging people to digitize tapes sooner than later, because it's only gonna get harder to convert these tapes. Eventually, they'll stop making these housings. Eventually, these tapes will just start falling apart, and so. Yeah, this is why it's really important to start converting tapes sooner than later. So I think we should just go ahead and do it. Like I said, there's a lot of mechanical things in here. Like there's motors, there's gears here that basically, you know, I expect this thing to just fall apart as soon as I open it. So I'm bummed that I have to trash this thing, but I really don't want to lose this tape. So let's go. What's up, Adam Robson? Thanks for tuning in. Danny's legit. What's up, guys? Hold on, my laptop is about to come unplugged, so let me just plug that back in. All right, hopefully you can still hear me. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, a lot of people, I mean, the first shows that I ever filmed were on these tapes, like in like 2000, 2001. The first camera that I had, which was my parents' camera, was using this format. So I'm like in the process of digitizing old family tapes, and so I'm upset that this is fucking jammed, but I don't, like I said, I don't want to lose this. So I think we should just go for it. As always, these live streams are interactive, so if you have any comments or questions, or you just want to shoot the shit, leave them in the chat, and I'll respond to you guys. Let me see if I'm. It's a little weird. I have like a tripod over my head, and I've never actually done this before. Give me 1 second. All right. So there's a bunch of screws here. There's basically screws 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 screws I'm seeing. I already watched a couple YouTube videos of people doing this, and they did not end good. I mean, they ended well in so far that they actually got the tape out, but they had to just basically destroy this thing. So I'm just gonna go for it. Fuck it, why not? And I mean, I hope that once I get this tape out and I actually digitize it, I can people will actually watch it. It should be a good set. It's Striking Distance from 2001, which I think was like probably their peak era. I don't know where Austin filmed this show. He sent me a bunch of stuff. He sent me Hope Conspiracy, Converge, American Nightmare from 2001, which I converted those tapes yesterday. Those went fine. And then when I started working on the Striking Distance, I realized I got jammed. So Danny's asking if I'm recording all of them. If I'm recording every band at This Is Hardcore. I am. I've actually filmed since 2000, and the first year that I filmed was 2009. I filmed every band except for one. I was not allowed to film Guar because they had a DVD coming out, and they did not want a full set to be available online. Interestingly enough, I did have a camera running on a tripod, so I do have footage of it, but I don't know if I'm allowed to post it. But to answer your question, I will be filming everyone. I'm curious to see who everyone's excited to see. If you haven't heard, Rotting Out is the special, or is was the unannounced band. So they will be playing. I think they're playing Friday, the first night. Oh, so Adam's asking what tape is in here. So if you're just tuning in, it's a Striking Distance set from July 6th, 2001. So that's stuck in here. All right, so I have 6 of these screws taken out. There is one up here that's a little harder to get out. I think it's because it's a smaller size. So I actually have this like old ass set of screws, basically different size heads. So I'm trying to find the right one. Okay, I think that's the one that I want. So, all right. Let's keep going. The other thing is, like, I've always been, like, ever since I was a kid, I've been taking shit apart, like old computers and all kinds of electronics. So I'm like fairly comfortable doing this, but one thing I always fucking lose screws. So I have like I put like a brown piece of paper out here so I can see where the screws are. You can't see it in the screen, but they're right here. All the screws are right here. But I know at some point I'm gonna like bump into the table. They're all gonna go fucking flying. But I think that's just the curse of. It's just a curse that I have. I always have to fucking knock shit over. So, what's going on here? So I have all the screws out. It's feeling like a little jammed, and I don't know. I wonder if there's a screw in here. Let's see what we got. So I'm trying to be very careful. I mean, I don't mind like destroying this thing, but I don't want to destroy the actual tape that's inside of there. So I'm trying. It's like a little stuck here. Trying to see what's happening. So it's like, I don't know where everyone's based. I'm in Philly. It's like 8:30 p.m. where I'm at. My friend invited me out to go rock climbing at this indoor gym, and I told her, I was like, I got to do this fucking shit that I don't want to do, but I need to get it done. So I'd rather be outside or actually doing something with my night than doing this. But here I am. So I hope everyone else is doing something more interesting while this stream is playing. So we'll see what we got here. All right, there's like this back piece is metal, and so it's like I don't know if there is a lip here that's sort of locked in this metal backplate, but it's actually making it difficult to pull this thing out. Oh, there we go. I don't know what I just did. I just like rotated it. Why did that work? I don't know why that worked. What's going on? Actually, so here's again, so if you're just tuning in, this is a working, it's a similar one, it's not the same one. This is a JVC CP7U. This is a Altai T122F. So slightly different, but it should be basically the same. I'm trying to see if there's a different set of screws here. I mean, they're roughly the same. I mean, the screw pattern is a little different. This one actually has a screw up top here. So I don't know why this is caught in here, but I think I can just like, fuck it, I'll just do that. So there's the tape that I'm trying to pull out. As you can see, that's what happens. So it's if I retract the flap here, you can see that's the actual tape now. So I basically want to. So like I said, there are these rollers here that basically they start down here, and then once you pop in the tape, they pop up. So this arm here and then this arm here, these both slide up and actually pull the tape out like that. So the tape is originally like this with the arms, and once the arms slide up, they stretch the tape out. So I need to basically reverse that, and I don't know how to do it because, again, there's a lot of gears and mechanical devices in here. So this is like locked in. Something's like this is in place here. This one moves, so I can actually probably pull that out. So I'm gonna pull that out. this one is, I don't know what to do. Trying to be very careful. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is like I'm trying not to touch the tape with my. I'm trying to avoid touching with my fingers because like my hands are oily and whatever, and that's I don't want to touch the actual tape with that. So I'm gonna just wind this up a little bit. Let's see. Trying to see if there's like another screw here that's locked this in place. So basically, the issue is that this arm here is locked into place and it's not doesn't want to move. So what are we gonna do? I can try just like popping it out. Here we go. Popped it out. Popped it out with a screwdriver. So I think I can just simply wind this up now. I mean, the tape looks good. It doesn't look torn. Maybe a very slight bend to it. I don't know if you can actually see it. Let me refocus this. The tape looks good. I was concerned that when it got jammed, it like ate it up, but it didn't. There might be very slight, no, actually no, I don't think so. I think it's fine. So, all right, let's refocus this. All right, so now the issue is I have to get it out. So it's like locked into place here. Yeah, so as you can see, like all these gears are basically wind. If you look at the tape, these gears are what causes it to expand out. It's kind of cool. I mean, I'm actually really impressed with how this thing works. I mean, these old formats, even though they're a pain in the ass to work with, a lot of just really interesting engineering went into developing it. So I got to give credit where credit's due. Like, I don't know how they did this. All right, so we have to get this out. I'm also curious what happened. I don't know if there was a short, an electrical short that caused the motor to die or what, or if it was just jammed for some reason. I just don't know. All right, I'm gonna close that. Again, so this is a working one. I'm trying to see how this works. So what's happening is, if you can see this, the flap of the tape is stuck behind this this lip here, and this lip is part of the housing of the bigger VHS tape. So what I'm looking at here is to see. All right, in this one, it's also the same. It doesn't actually move. So what happens is when you pop a tape in, you slide the tape in. When you're closing this lid, closing the lid is actually pulling this top flap up, if you see what I'm doing. So it's acting as like a hinge. So what I need to do, I think, is pop this open. All right, so let me, I'm gonna close the back up for a second, just so I can put some more pressure on the front. All right. So again, like, look, this thing came out. Like, this thing's done. I don't think I can actually rebuild this thing. It was only like $7 or something. I don't really remember. So it's not a huge loss. It's just annoying. So we're gonna just try to. There we go. And that's it. So we got the tape out. Looks pretty good. There's a little bit of dust here, but that's fine. So again, I don't know what happened here. So I'm always curious what causes something to just die, but in this case, I don't know if I can figure it out. So that is fine. The issue here is I don't know. Like I feel like this got jammed at some point. So I mean, we're already here, so let's just like take this. Let's just go further with it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to just chalk this up as mechanical failure and deal with it later. So just for my own peace of mind, I want to see if I can actually pop this back into the working housing and get it out safely. So cross your fingers and let's see if this works. So we're going to pop that in. Close it. There's the tape. So we're good. So that's it. This is the first time I ever had to take apart one of these. I've had issues before where a VHS got stuck inside of a VCR and I had to take apart the VCR, and that was a little bit more complicated. So in the grand scheme of things, this was not that difficult. Oh, now it's working. I don't know if you can hear it. It's actually spinning now. So I wonder, so there's like a small metal piece here that was, it's really hard to see. I don't know if I can show you this. Let's see. So there's a small metal here. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a small metal like flap that looks disconnected. So what I did was I just pushed it in, and I don't know if that's a grounding or it might be. Okay, that might actually be the switch, because when I press down, when I basically press that metal bar down, the motor turns. So I think that's the issue. I think that this button here, this tab here, is supposed to press down that metal tab, and for some reason, it's not making contact. So I think it was a mechanical failure that was preventing the the actual battery from completing the circuit and actually turning on the motor. So I don't know how to fix this, to be honest. Again, like this thing popped out. I don't remember where it came from. It might have come out of here. Yeah, I think it came out of there. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I don't know. I think that goes there. This came out of somewhere. Yeah, I mean, pretty quickly it becomes just almost impossible to unless you've done this a bunch, which I've never done this before. I'm not surprised that I'm not gonna be able to fix this. Nor would I really trust it. I don't want to have to do this again, and I don't want to have to lose issues with another tape. So, whoops, I think I'm like out of focus here. Yeah, so in summary, what happened was this, what's supposed to happen, again, I'll show you, this button here. Let's see, let me zoom in a little bit. All right, so what is supposed to happen is this button here is supposed to complete the circuit and causes all the motors to go and everything to just like basically that's basically the on and off switch. And what happened is on this one, I think this button got jammed. It got jammed and it wasn't. It's really hard to see, but basically here now you can see it. So that little metal bar is what completes the circuit. And so what happened is, let me come up from behind. All right. It's so hard to like film with a camera over my head and show you what I'm trying to show you. But so here, if you look closely, is a metal, like it looks like a arm. Basically what happens is that's supposed to come down and it wasn't coming down. It wasn't coming down when I pressed the, when I slid it to the on position. But when I actually press it down, you might not be able to hear it, but now that the gears are turning. So I think that was it. But anyway, I'm going to junk this thing. I don't really think I can do anything with it. But yeah, so that's it. So look for, now that I got this out, I can actually digitize it with the, digitize it with the working housing. So look for that on the site soon. Again, this is Striking Distance from July 6, 2001. I got a bunch of other tapes in that from the same guy. Basically, Hope Conspiracy, Converge, American Nightmare, from 2099, 2001 era. So those should be on the site soon. I think that's it. I'm going to go back to working on some other video stuff, but again, I just wanted to do a quick live stream of this, and hopefully people found this interesting. I'm just going to read through some comments. I did a shitty job of keeping up to date with comments in the live chat. Alex is asking if it's a pain in the ass to digitizing old tapes. Yes and no. For me, the only annoyance is that I have to physically be there to pop in the VHS tape, and then hit record and then have it digitized. But the plus side is that I don't have. I mean, I can just pop them in while I'm doing something, and in an hour it'll be done. So that gets a little bit, depending on what it is I'm trying to do. It can be annoying. If I'm already at home and I'm working on some other stuff, then it's fine. But if I need to run out for errands, then it's hard for me to do, obviously, to monitor that. So, so yeah. Cool. I think that's it for me. Again, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys soon.